Hi everybody, Micromanager here, and today I just wanted to go over a few tips and tricks that I've kind of learned that make life a little easier, some quality of life stuff, and I hope this helps you out. Now, tip number one, it's very simple. Once you have an upgraded inventory, you're still going to end up with a full inventory, but you have what I like to call the prison pocket. You've got a secret hidden prison pocket. Now, that is the trash bin. Now, you can put an item here. What I would do is put an item in this slot that doesn't stack. So like, say you have like an extra pickaxe that you carry with you. You can just keep it there. Just don't hit the trash bin. You'll be very upset that you did, but you can carry that there and you can have more space for whatever other stackable items that you might be picking up when you're out adventuring. Okay, and tip number two has to do with cooking. There's actually a couple tips that I have here, and cooking and smelting in general will cover the first one. When you are smelting and cooking, especially when you're smelting scarlet ore, one of the best things that you can do is split those stacks and spread them across as many of these as possible. Scarlet ore takes forever to smelt, so splitting up those stacks, you know, just holding shift, right clicking, splitting those stacks, and then splitting them into fourths. That's going to make life so much easier when it comes to getting things cooked down in a timely fashion. And when it comes to stacks of food, also another thing, do not waste your time making food of two of the same item. Like, you know, you go in here, you cook two mushrooms, you're going to end up with the mushy mushroom soup, but the only thing that you're going to gain from this is the health over time. You're not going to gain the other benefits from other food, so don't waste your food double stacking. You might have to early on in the game because food ends up to being very scarce. I feel personally that you're still eating way too often. I think that they need to tone that down just a little bit. That's just my personal opinion. But later on, when you have access to tons of different food, take the time and use two different ingredients so you can get both benefits. Some of my favorite mid-game food would be the bomb pepper mixed with the Karok, because you're getting the armor from the Karok and the movement speed from the bomb pepper. Another tip that I really like to point out is slimes are a fantastic way, especially mid to late game, to level up your vitality. Vitality is always increased by defeating enemies. So the easiest enemy to defeat is, of course, the slime. So if you find yourself the grub necklace and the larva ring, you can use those to wander around the slime biomes and just absolutely obliterate the slimes, usually in like one hit. And each one of those kills will help add to your vitality skill. What you can do is you can go out to Gorm's ring and you will find tons of enemies. Just walk around Gorm's ring, just slaying slimes, and you'll have your vitality up in no time at all. Speaking of vitality, a little bonus. Some of you might know, some of you might not know, that there are some specific items that you can find on each map that will increase your maximum permanent health, and that would be the giant mushroom and the amber larva. These things are fantastic, but what I am doing is I'm currently farming these in my off time to try to get as many as possible, because then when you cook with these, if your cooking skill is high enough, you have a potential chance to pull multiple copies of the food that you take from the cooking station. So you might get 2 of the food, thus gaining 25 health or 100 health maximum from these items. The great thing about these is they can be farmed. And I'll show you a quick way real quick. That's going to be the next tip on how to farm these giant mushrooms. Now, the fastest way to farm these giant mushrooms that I have found is that you first have to have defeated the hive mother, and once you've defeated the hive mother, you will have access to craft the grubzuka, which is what you're going to want. Now, the grubzuka is repaired by using iron bars, so what you're going to want to do is load a new map with this character. You're going to want to make the grubzuka, take along a salvage and repair station, and a couple bars of iron. It takes 6 iron bars to completely repair the grubzuka from broken. I usually take about 36 or 42 iron bars, and I will show you why in just a moment. Now, I've been told that you can find more than one giant mushroom per map. I have not been that lucky. My luck is terrible. So generally what I've been doing to save time is to just find the one large giant mushroom that you can find on your map, and then exit the map, start a new map, and start all over again. Now, the reason you want the grubzuka is because you are able to just absolutely destroy the ground. And you're just going to want to kind of cut through, and you'll eventually see, you know, these openings. You'll you'll see other caverns, and eventually you should come across the cavern. This is one of the simplest tips that I think that might get overlooked, but you don't have to have your torch in your hotbar. You can just keep it down here, and if you ever need the torch, you can just hit and hold shift, right click, and that places the torch. And also, while doing so, if you find yourself in a dark spot, or if you're digging and you want to not use the durability of your weapon to break stuff like wood or smaller dirt stuff or harvest, just hold shift, that brings out the torch, and you can harvest your wood with that, which saves you tons of your durability on your pickaxe. And the last tip I have for you today is you'll find that late game, you're going to be using, me personally, I use a lot of railways to get to and from places, but sometimes you end up dying and your return railway is not available. So what I end up doing is I always carry a second minecart with me. So if I didn't have my minecart because it was out at the end of the line and I died and I had to come back to base because I didn't lay down a bed, I have my minecart. I always leave it in my hotbar, especially if I'm fighting bosses, so it doesn't get dropped when I die. Because sometimes you never know. Sometimes a fight just doesn't go the way you plan. And that's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you like this content, please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. You can also catch me playing Core Keeper or other survival crafting games, RPGs, point-and-click adventures, and other stuff over on my Twitch channel. I'm usually live 6 days a week. Really greatly appreciate you swinging by and saying hi. And with that, don't forget, keep being weird and stay awesome.